they've got a pretty good freshman as well, and Amber Campbell, who's having a great tournament. And Melissa Calicott, a senior, she's their long-range shooter for the Deacons. Well, Wake, they're the pants in the background. Jen Hoover said, as long as we're winning, I'm wearing them. Duke in white being the higher seed, Wake Forest in black. And right away, Azurá Stevens, the freshman from Raleigh, gets Duke going.
Wake Forest started off in a man-to-man, but we will see the different defenses from them zone, maybe even some junk defense against Duke.
Here's Campbell. Campbell with 21 points, career high against Syracuse yesterday. Calicott feeding into Hamby. Hamby over the senior Amber Henson. And Henson's giving him some good minutes. This is a huge front line for Duke. And here's Williams, the sweeping hook. Offensive rebound, and Williams puts it back. You look at that front line, it's Williams 6'3", Stevens 6'5", and Henson 6'4".
The tallest team in Duke women's basketball history.
Boy, nobody contested Hamby going to the bucket.
And that's rare. Normally the defense is very focused on Derek and Hamby, but with other players scoring, this has become a more versatile offense for Wake Forest.
Williams can't hit it, Campbell down with it. Hamby in the paint. That was blocked by Azurá Stevens. This is a Duke team that lost 3 in a row before beating North Carolina Sunday in the final game of the regular season. They have been trailing double digits in all 4 of those games. Played a tough schedule this year. 11-5. Joanne P. McCauley has had to structure this team without really any point guard. Into Henson, she's wide open.
Poor communication defensively by Wake Forest, and Amber Henson is coming up limping. We know that she has dealt with injury a lot in her career at Duke.
6 knee surgeries. That's unbelievable. Campbell. And Henson just can't, she's hurt. Let's hope it's not serious, because it was just announced today that Henson is going to come back next year.
Take a look at the landing here. It looks like, yeah, her left ankle, like awkward landing there. Hopefully she's okay. She played a season high 34 minutes in their last regular season game against North Carolina. She was hitting her stride.
It's not like Duke loses any height. 6'4" Kendall Cooper is in to replace her.
But it does change, because Amber Henson can shoot the outside shot. Cooper is more of an interior player for Duke.
Turnover, here's Greenwell, the redshirt freshman. Four different players have scored for Duke, and Duke's taken an early 8-2 lead. Jen Hoover has had to take a timeout.
Wake Forest seems to be on different pages on the defensive end, not really communicating, letting Duke easily cut to the basket and get whatever shots they want. So Jen Hoover is going to call timeout and calm her team down.
Well, not only has Wake played 2 games in a row, but their record of Duke against Duke, they've lost 42 in a row, and the last win was in the 1993
and that's something,
ACC tournament.
That's something that has to be addressed in the first few minutes, because you wonder if there's a mental aspect to this for Wake Forest. Like, we can't beat this team, even though, as you mentioned, Mike, it's been a very long time since that's happened.
There are players in this game who weren't born in 1993.
How do you know I was born in 1993? I was still coming along myself.
Greenwell comes up with it. Wake Forest has had an issue with turnovers this year. Stevens. Azurá doesn't take a whole lot of them. That one was big, and it's Duke out on top early.
Azurá Stevens' versatility. I mean, you look at her length, the fact that she can shoot the outside shot, she is a weapon.
Well, as much as the will is there for Wake Forest and the effort is going to be there, you still got to, this has got to be a little bit of a tired team having played BC and Syracuse. Greenwell, and there's just nobody to stop it.
And there was a screen on the interior to seal off the help defender, which made that a wide open layup.
All Duke. Campbell, Wake is 1 for 4 here in this first half. Campbell.
Duke is in a zone, and it is going to take a three-point shot or outside shooting to open things up on the interior for Wake, as they've been able to do the last couple of days.
Now Wake forces a turnover. There you see the versatility of Hamby. She can dribble, she can shoot that three. Well, the Duke Blue Devils had a great start here on quarterfinal Friday. Stevens hitting it outside. They've been scoring in the paint, and they're up big here in Greensboro. Bring in another member of our team who's done a great job here this week, Chelsea Shine Wilson.
Well, guys, Duke is a team that has had a little bit of adversity this season. Maybe not the same Duke team we're used to seeing. They've gone from 12 team members this season down to 9 with injuries and a transfer. We talked to Coach McCallie before the game. She said we're a little bit of the underdog in this tournament, trying to fight our way back to the top. But, guys, they don't look like the underdog right now.
Well, you see there, they began the season with 12, down to only 9, and really only 8 that play. So it is a short bench, and with Henson out, now you're down to 7.
Yeah, the most significant part of that is they're shorthanded in the backcourt. They haven't had the guard play or depth.
What's interesting is you look at the Wake Forest bench, all the seats are filled. You look at the Duke bench, there are a lot of empty chairs over there. Wake Forest hangs on to it.
Duke, their length, making it hard to get the ball inside of De'Erica Hamby. They cover so much space in that zone, Mike.
Jen Hoover trying to encourage her team. They've turned it over 4 times. That was Delilah Atkinson, who just came into the game for Wake Forest.
Foul has been charged to Wake Forest. That number 32.
That's on Milan Quinn.
That is her first.
The sophomore from Charlotte just into the lineup for Wake, commits a foul. Over Greenwell's head, and it's a Duke turnover.
Duke obviously already out to a quick start on the offensive end. For Wake to catch up on that end of the floor, they have to attack the zone the way we've seen them do the last couple of days, Mike, especially at the free throw line, even from the three-point line or short corner, because this is a long Duke zone.
Aaron Mathias into the Blue Devil lineup, and other than a walk-on, you've seen Duke's team. Last touch by Quinn. Look at the bench over there. Well, there you see the few players available, and there are a lot of empty green seats. Now almost every other team, all those seats are filled. But for Duke, injuries and transfers in the middle of the season.
If only Michelle Van Gorp could suit up. I know that would be a good one. She's on the bench, but she's not in a uniform.
Inside Cooper.
Great post-entry pass there by Elizabeth Williams. A good seal.
I don't have to tell you. You can tell by looking at the screen. Just one field goal early. Atkinson is fouled.
Defense is there, but you get a good seal, and that's a very good angle by Elizabeth Williams. She is the #1 post player in the nation for assists per game, so she understands angles and how to pass.
Mercedes Riggs checks in for Duke.
Mercedes Riggs in. Junior from Linden, Utah. That's the first point by Wake Forest in over 4.5 minutes.
I think the free throw line is going to be important for Wake Forest.
The arrow is to Wake. Cooper's a little slow getting up.
Duke definitely can't afford
Wow.
this.
So we've had Henson limp off. We've got Cooper limping off. That basically leaves Kalia Johnson and walk-on Jenna Frush as the only healthy players over on the Duke bench.
Kendall Cooper here going for the basketball.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, awkward landing. Once again, it's hard, especially with some of these taller players, big girls, as I know, to land softly.
Kalila Atkinson, nice drive. She's got 3 points.
Wake Forest has had so much balance on the offensive end, which is why they've been able to have success in the ACC tournament. They only have 2 double-figure scores regularly. They've had 4.
You've got Henson in the locker room. Cooper in some pain. The good news is I see Henson walking back onto the court to the bench, and now Cooper's going to take her place in the locker room. She walks off as Henson walks on. Atkinson again.
Great interior defense to start by Elizabeth Williams on Dearica Hamby. That is the matchup that everyone will have their eyes on. 2 of the premier post players in the nation.
And this team really operating without a true point guard, LaChina. It's been a source of frustration, but Coach Pete says that we go with what we got and we make the best of it.
Yeah, Kalia Johnson has had to fill in, but she's not a point guard. Coach Pete telling us she's actually a 3.
Hamby. Quinn aggressively takes it and couldn't finish. Those are the shots Wake Forest has got to hit to get in this game.
Yeah, high percentage looks, but that's difficult against Duke. They average 7 blocks a game. They're so long, they can disrupt you down low.
Williams actually had her season high. Stevens can't score it. Held ball, arrow is to Duke.
It's going to take a bit of adjustment, I think, for Dearica Hamby in this game, playing against one of the best shot blockers in ACC history. Elizabeth Williams sends that one flying. And so it's going to take a move and then a counter move. And again, just trying to recognize what kind of touch you need to use off the glass over that wingspan.
These 2 teams played twice in the regular season. Duke won both matchups. And one of those, Williams had a season high, 6 block shots. Stevens the rebound. I remember a game a couple of years ago. Elizabeth Williams had 12 block shots in a game in Winston-Salem against Wake Forest.
Her timing is unbelievable. She knows right when to go up for that block, and her wingspan allows her to tip a lot of basketballs.
Henson back in the game. Good news for Duke. Healthy players are at a premium. Going up and fouled Kalia Johnson.
The old trick off the back of the defender that's not paying attention. Kalia Johnson gets Dearica Hamby. Always have to see ball and basket at the same time defensively.
It was Hamby who committed the foul. Johnson's first point. As Hamby's going to get a break here as we're getting close to a media break.
Kalia Johnson has struggled from the field the last couple of games. So if she can get herself to the free throw line, get some easy scores, that'll help their offense.
To your point, in the win last time out for Duke against North Carolina, she was just 1 for 8. Only had 2 points. Averaging over 7 a game. Kalia Johnson, the senior from Chester, Virginia.
Wake Forest needs to move the basketball, make this zone stretch.
Too many turnovers right now for Wake Forest. And good drive by the redshirt freshman. Becca Greenwell, she'll go to the line when we come back. It's still all Duke. They've got a double-digit lead here in game one of quarterfinal Friday. The Duke Blue Devils shooting 50%, 7 of 14, and they're up 12 on Wake Forest. Has to make Joanne P. McCauley happy in her 8th season as Duke's coach 3 times. The ACC Coach of the Year. She's led them to 3 tournament titles and a great record in that ACC tournament here in Greensboro.
Yeah, they have had a lot of success here. And Mike, despite everything we've discussed, the injuries, the shortened roster, all of that as Greenwell hits a free throw, she continues to make this a very good defensive team. They hang their hat on the defense. They're very good on that end of the floor, and that's why they're still in the top 25 despite it all.
Speaking of injuries, let's get a report from Chelsea.
Well, guys, I just got a report from the Duke bench that Amber Henson actually tore her PCL when they played UNC earlier in the season in January. Every once in a while, she tweaks that PCL on her left leg, which is what she did. Obviously, it hurts for a second, but she's able to come back in. And then Kendall Cooper is back in the locker room right now being evaluated. Somebody just landed on her lower leg, so they're checking her out right now to see if she'll be able to come back.
All right, Chelsea, thanks a lot.
Good execution.
A torn PCL, and she's still playing.
Let me tell you, she's got more heart than everyone in this building combined. The fact that she's still going at it and still attempting to play, Amber Henson is one of the great stories in the game of basketball. 6
surgeries, and as we said, she has just announced, it was actually just announced today, that she'll be playing again for Duke. 5 to shoot it. Johnson's got to hurry and a double dribble. But I want to expand on that. That's great news about Amber Henson, the fact that she's going to get another year and come back and play for Duke.
It really is. I mean, she could have decided to end it. She did walk on senior night with her class, but decided to come back. And after playing 34 minutes in that UNC game, I can see why she made that decision.
Atkinson. Hamby. Boy, nothing's easy. Atkinson has come off the bench and really given Wake a lift. She's got 5 of their 9 points.
And because there's so much defensive focus on keeping De'Erica Hamby off of the glass, that's going to open up things for other players to hit the glass and get second chance points.
KK Atkinson has taken advantage.
The drive here by Wake Forest, and then De'Erica Hamby does get around, but look, she's got 2 long defenders around her, but that leaves some open space. And KK Atkinson comes right in, making a difference in this game early.
That foul was on Nicole Floyd, Wake freshman. Here's Mathias. Good job by Campbell getting a hand on it. She leads Wake Forest in steals. She had a good defensive day yesterday.
She did. She could be a catalyst in this game. She was a game changer against Syracuse. 5 steals. Her pressure, considering the shortened backcourt for Duke and the lack of a pure point guard, that can change things.
Great point. And they just forced another Duke turnover. Wake with a bucket here, cut this game back down into single digits.
Duke trapping out of their zone.
Akia Jones gets it into Hamby. She got caught underneath the basket, really didn't have a good angle on that shot.
Yeah, it looked like she didn't really know what she wanted to do with the ball.
Henson. You talked to me about this earlier. Henson's got some range.
She does. I mean, she's got size, but she's actually got really good guard skill and is starting to shoot the ball better now. She went through a horrible stretch.
Got a big block there, and Williams loses the handle on the long pass. That's 7 turnovers for Duke.
Elizabeth Williams is doing her part by running out. This is effort, but then the catch. But they say if it hits your hands, you should be able to pull it in. That's the rule, right, Mike? I think.
Yeah. It's like a wide receiver. I'm open.
Yeah,
I'm open.
Get a finger on it. That's it. Nice
Hamby
pass.
again down low. Boy, it's been a tough half for Dearica Hamby is now 1 for 9. Not a typical Hamby performance at all.
This isn't typical interior defense either. Dearica Hamby has just got to relax and put the ball in the hole. Terrific fake right there. She uses her pivot foot well, Mike, but couldn't get the finish. But keep in mind, she's played just about every minute of the last 2 games. So you wonder how much leg she has on her shot.
It doesn't. I don't care how great a shape you're in. She's got to be a little leg weary. Well, you remember Duke got that double bye. This is their first game in the tournament.
They've been at the crib chilling, relaxing.
Mathias. There's that height advantage. Stevens.
Azurá Stevens is truly a special player, Mike. Wow, 6'5". She has range on her shot. She has length. I think she'll be a National Player of the Year candidate one day during her career, during her time.
Her season high came in the second meeting with Wake Forest. She had 24 points in that game. You're right.
Candace Ball checking in.
Coming up on ACC All Access this week, the Men's Swimming and Diving Championship. We have profile of Jewel Lloyd and Quinn Cook of Duke. I'll have my Hog Blog. Check your local listings, ACC All Access.
What's the Hog Blog going to be about?
Hog Blog is about March
what are you doing this week?
Madness.
Oh, okay.
It's about what a great time of year this is.
Oh, wow.
My favorite time of year.
Favorite month?
Favorite month. Great basketball, men and women. Atkinson down in the paint is blocked by Williams. That's what she does. One of the best shot blockers in ACC history. Just swatted it away, and we've got a timeout. Elizabeth Williams doing what she does best. And Duke's up big. So far for the Wake Forest Indians, you look at our game summary and look at those points in the paint, LaChina.
They have dominated on the interior, really on both ends of the floor, but how they're scoring is getting high percentage looks around the rim. Azurá Stevens with a good seal, and Elizabeth Williams with a second effort on the glass, +6 on rebounding right now for Duke. And Wake Forest is, for some reason, more spread out on their defense. The way that Duke has been shooting 3 as of late, which is not very good, I would pack it inside. Duke is only shooting at 17% from 3 over their last 4 games.
Yeah, 10 of 60. Jones can't hit it. Chelsea, what were they talking about in that Wake Forest huddle?
Well, Coach Hoover was drawing up some plays to try to work the ball in and around that Duke 2-3 zone on the offensive end. She looked at her team and she said, guys, we're okay. It's only a 4-possession game, but we need to do a better job of getting the ball inside on the zone and offensive rebounding.
And a defensive rebound there by Hamby. Hamby has climbed up the charts another notch in the rebounding category. She can go no higher because now she's at the top of the list.
And how about KK Atkinson? In my opinion, she has the largest upside of any player on this team. She hasn't been healthy. Nice pull-up jumper. When you can create your own shot like this off the bounce, you give your team much-needed baskets when they need it, and she just got elevation and hit it.
7 points off the bench for Atkinson. Redshirt sophomore from Woodbridge, Virginia. And that's an offensive foul on Duke. Talia Johnson picks up her first.
Looking to be aggressive and going to the rim, but as she gets there, Candace Ball with the rotation. She's set with her shoulders squared outside of the restricted area. That's a good call by the officials.
You know, LaChina, we haven't talked about Candace Ball, but she's played the best basketball, I think, in her career. She has the ball here in this tournament.
She has. She's shown a lot of toughness, especially on the glass, setting the tone for this team, been relentless in getting second chance opportunity.
Had a career high in points yesterday, 14. Hamby inside, got bumped, made it. Second field goal of the day for Hamby.
And a sigh of relief. Dearica Hamby is at her best when she's on the move and when she can create in space. That time she keeps the basketball high, which I think is an important thing against the outstretched arms of this long Duke defense.
5 first-half points for Hamby. Wake's now cut it down to 7.
Wake Forest has to start to dictate more on the defensive end. They're letting Duke catch the ball, take their time, look. They're very comfortable. Wake has to make it uncomfortable.
Williams. Count it, and the foul is on Ball.
Candace Ball once again in position to rotate on help. This is a great take from Elizabeth Williams from the top of the key. Ball still moving to get there. Yeah, she was still sliding over to get her shoulder squared to the defender. So that is why that call was made. She had not established herself as a legal defender.
4 times first-team All-ACC Elizabeth Williams. She was honored before the game as the top scholar athlete.
That's a busy life. That's a busy life. You got a top athlete in the classroom, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
And stolen by Greenwell. Rebecca Greenwell's had a great first half, 8 points.
And a great season.
She has.
I remember watching her last year saying, who is that? She couldn't even play. She was just in the gym shooting. I wanted to know who she was. I could tell she was going to be good.
Second leading scorer at over 14 a game, and Wake turns it over again.
Have to have possession of the basketball if you're going to try to close this gap. But Wake Forest not coming to the ball. Rebecca Greenwell just very aggressive, shooting the gap, gets an easy score.
That's a rare free throw miss by Greenwell. She's an 84% free throw shooter. You see Makia Jones, she's picked up foul number 2 and has had to go to the bench. Backup point guard.
One of the underrated parts of an offense against a defense is the ball fake. I think Wake Forest has to use more ball fakes, shift this zone. Ball reversal, get to second side.
Tasia Taylor on the drive, and that was almost a pass to Hamby.
Dearica Hamby continuing to have a body on her at all times. Look at this double team. There is nowhere to go. They are physical with her as well, understanding how important she is to this team.
Player that we haven't seen, well, there she's got it, Calicott. Remember the last 2 games against Boston College and Syracuse, Calicott hit her first shot. She just missed her first shot here.
Yeah, she's been a zone spacer. She's been that player to create openings for Dearica Hamby to function inside, playing some of her best basketball here in her senior season.
Hamby in the paint. Hamby will go to the free throw line.
She is trying so hard to make something happen in there.
Bodies all around her.
Every shot is contested. Every shot she has taken is contested with outstretched arms as she continues to work.
That foul on Greenwell. One of the things that Hamby has done, and she is a great free throw shooter to start with, but she's been spectacular from the line down the stretch. So I say that she misses, but. And a turnover, Wake gets it back. This is a Deacon team that just will not quit. Fighting hard. Atkinson's had a great half. Hamby. Ball. And Candace Ball will go to the free throw line.
See, on that possession, it was a different attack of that zone. They flattened it out on the back side. That zone has been up so high and outstretched. You see when the ball gets there to the baseline, there's no one home because you have Hamby that they've got to occupy and someone on the backside. So that's another way to attack it, is get into the short corner behind the zone.
Kalia Johnson picks up her second foul on that last play. She's gone out. Azurá Stevens has gone to the bench. Wake Forest got 13 offensive rebounds, but they just have not been able to convert. Riggs trying to get inside to Cooper. That was not a great pass. Duke has turned the ball over a great deal here in this first half.
They have. I believe they've actually turned it over more than Wake Forest has, but Duke is just scoring more off of Wake Forest turnovers.
Taylor can't hit it. Held ball, arrow to Wake. Duke has turned it over 11 times in this first half. And the Deeks playing some scrappy basketball.
Not letting it go. I like this new attitude.
I like the fight
ball.
team shown.
Yeah, she's shown a different level of toughness.
Calicott slapped away. Good play by Cooper.
Tips, deflections. Not even just blocks and straight up steals. Duke gets a lot of tips and deflections.
Williams trying to work against Ball. Here's Henson. Henson's got a good outside shot. Loose ball to Williams.
Fresh legs.
You know, I really do think that those fresh legs are starting to show a little bit.
It helps when it comes to tracking down those long rebounds.
Riggs is open for three. And Henson's going to be whistled for a foul. Well, it's been all Duke in this half. They've had a double-digit lead for quite a while now. Timeout here. And the Duke Blue Devils are up 10, 3:31 to go. First half here in the ACC tournament quarterfinal Friday.
Greensboro, where the Duke Blue Devils are leading Wake Forest 27-17. Guys, we're watching a player who has made some Wake Forest history. Dearica Hamby in the final game of the regular season surpassed her head coach, Jen Hoover, in scoring for all-time scorer in Wake Forest history. And in this game, she has now surpassed Coach Hoover in all-time reboundings in the history of the Wake Forest women's basketball team. Coach Hoover, we had a chance to talk to her before the game, and she said she's glad that these records are being broken. These are players that they want coming to Wake Forest. These are records that Coach Hoover wants to be broken. So Coach Hoover on the sideline, a great player at Wake in her days, and now Dearica Hamby has surpassed some big-time records in Wake Forest.
Yeah, it was great video of it, particularly with that one-handed free throw that we just saw.
And I think that's given Dearica extra motivation. She really started to rise her last 2 years at Wake, and I think her and Jen Hoover's relationship and wanting to be as good of a player, if not better, than her coach has been good for her.
By the way, that foul a moment ago on Henson was her second, and there's another Duke foul. That's on Williams, Elizabeth Williams, her first. For Duke, Kalia Johnson and Amber Henson each have 2 fouls. And this is a short Duke bench to start with. It's good to see Henson's healthy and able to play. Azurá Stevens down with the rebound. We mentioned Duke turning the ball over. Wake has just not been able to take advantage of those turnovers.
You're absolutely right. They also haven't taken advantage of their offensive rebounds. They've gotten on the glass, no second chance points to match that. Not enough.
Greenwell's had a heck of a first half. In double figures now with 11.
And she's had to do so much for this team. She's going to be happy when they get more goals.
Blocked by Williams. She's made a career of that. Now Calicott got in and tied her up. I'll tell you what, that Elizabeth Williams is a great shot blocker.
Good positioning, waits for the release of the basketball. She barely had to jump to get that.
That is 4 blocks in the first half.
And that is why Wake Forest has struggled to get any scoring in the paint. Just the threat of Elizabeth Williams in there changes the scope of your offense.
Look at the numbers on Williams, would you? 5 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocked shots. Her season high in blocks is 6, and that came against Wake Forest.
And she's played with more of a sense of urgency this season. You know, she has dealt with injury throughout her time at Duke and hasn't really spent the time on post-development in the summers because she's had to get surgeries and various things, but her intensity level has been impressive.
Cooper. Kendall Cooper's 4th point. You know, you do I won't say that I'm old, but doing games a long time, there's certain games that stand out in your mind. That game where she blocked 12 shots stands out.
I believe
game against Wake Forest. That's an
may
amazing
have had a triple-double that game.
She did. Riggs, nice pass to Cooper.
How much has she grown as a player, Mike? Mobility, hitting the high post shot.
How much has she grown? Well, last time they played, she was held scoreless.
Kendall Cooper making herself an option on the offensive end. Great mobility there. She shot the high post shot, and keep in mind they're without O'Dara Cheatham, out with a shoulder injury, so she has been thrusted into a role of playing more minutes.
Yeah, Cheatham's out. Sierra Calhoun left the team earlier in the season. Cooper, a sophomore from Carson, California. And it's a Duke team. Joanne P. McCauley was telling us they've got guards coming in next year.
That will relieve Rebecca Greenwell.
Tasia Taylor, offensive fouler first. And this is a Wake team now. LaChina is starting to look frustrated.
Yeah, they are. Duke has challenged them. They've made it difficult for them to score, use their length.
That's now 12 turnovers in the half for Duke.
You saw the elbow from that last foul call on Wake Forest. That was on Tasia Taylor.
Riggs commits the foul, and this game seems out of rhythm a bit right now. Wake has gone almost 5 minutes without a field goal. They've missed their last 8 shots.
And they have more turnovers than they do field goals.
And let's remember that this is a team that has been playing really well in the second half.
This ball has been in on every rebound off the glass for Wake Forest.
Wake will retain possession. She just got a little talking to from Carla Fountain.
Here's the warning.
Campbell, haven't heard from her lately. That shot is blocked. Oh, it's tough to go in against all those tall trees of Duke. Hamby has it blocked, another one by Williams. Elizabeth Williams, 5 blocked shots in the first half. Cooper, and 1 Duke.
The paint game of the Duke Blue Devils has dominated this first half. Elizabeth Williams is taking care of everything in the lane. Dearica Hamby has struggled against her defense. And then Kendall Cooper, wow, aggressive, one-on-one on the inside. Wake Forest has got to think about making some changes and possibly doubling in there. They need to force the outside shot.
9 first half points for Kendall Cooper. Her season high is 11 That was against Clemson and Georgia Tech. She's done it twice. I'm going to tell you right now, she's going to get a season high here today. Campbell.
Another deflection.
You know, you look at this. You've got 6'5" all across the court. Matthias 6'4". Williams, Cooper. That is just a really big front line. And no matter who they put in, they're all 6'4", 6'5". It'll belong to Duke.
And what you have to do to score against a team with that kind of length, Mike, you got to make their defense work laterally.
9 blocks as a team for Duke in this first half. We're in the final minute. And Duke is broken out to their largest lead here.
That is how this Duke team has sustained over time with losses, injuries, transfers, their defense.
I'm looking at Hamby run the court. She is windy. And it's understandable with all she's done for this team last couple of days.
Make a pass to make a pass.
Callicot's only had 1 shot in the game. Hamby, little high-low to Milan Quinn. That was a nice play.
It was. The high-low will be there for Wake Forest, especially when Dearica Hamby is in the high post, because she's going to draw 2, sometimes 3 defenders there. And the key to that pass, Mike, Milan Quinn kept moving. You have to move without the basketball against that long defense.
That was the second foul on Kendall Cooper, who has played so well in this first half. And Duke's going to take a timeout. Dearica Hamby has not had any easy look. She's just 2 for 16 from the field.
A tough day at the office for Dearica Hamby. Credit the Duke defense. Elizabeth Williams, this is one-on-one coverage. Williams working, not letting her get position. They have used their length to frustrate Dearica Hamby. Physical with her as well, and we all know she is the key for this Wake Forest team.
She's got 8 rebounds, but you know, it's just tough in the middle when you go 6'4", 6'5", 6'4" across the front line, and they're all good. They can all play. They're all quick, and that lady is a fantastic shot blocker. And 5 in the first half.
Another key for Wake Forest, they're 0 for 6 from the three-point line, so there's no stretching of the defense. They haven't hit any threes.
And that's something that they have done in the 2 wins in the previous days of this tournament. Turnover, final seconds of the half. Here's Callicott. So Wake gets a turnover and a bucket. But for the most part, this has all been Duke's half here in their first appearance in Greensboro. Look at Williams, 5 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 blocked shots. What a half for the senior from Virginia Beach. And she was just part of a great Duke first half effort that saw the Blue Devils put 36 on the board. Here's Chelsea.
Coach, you were able to limit Dearica Hamby to just 6 points. How has your zone defense been so disruptive?
Well, she's a really, really good player. We're just trying to work together to do the best that we can. It's really hard to stop her getting the ball. I think our posts have done a pretty good job moving, and there's a lot of fouls being called out here. Our entire team's in foul trouble, so obviously it's not the best situation, but we'll just try to keep working for second half.
We saw Kendall Cooper go down with an injury. She came back, had a big finish at the half.
They're both back. They had some bumps to figure out, but we're very fortunate. Kendall played a great first half.
Great, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Chelsea and Coach P. And Kendall Cooper did play well, but as she said, 3 Blue Devils have 2 fouls. Well, Wake Forest is fighting, but right now, Duke out on top, 36-21 at halftime. It's going to be a busy day of basketball here. Tom Wormy's along in a moment to tell us what's ahead on quarterfinal Friday.
Final Friday, 36-21 against Wake Forest, and the Blue Devils doing it with defense.
Elizabeth Williams, 5 blocks and a half. Are you kidding? The most impressive thing about Elizabeth Williams and her block shots, she keeps the ball in play. When a post player can do that for her team, she's getting them extra possessions offensively. And then on the offensive end, she's doing her normal role, getting offensive rebounds. She's been so efficient. This is why this is a player who's been on the first team All-ACC team all 4 of her years.
She also has 12 rebounds in the first half. Erica Hamby, the star player for Wake Forest, just 2 of 16 shooting, and Hamby with 8 rebounds and 6 points, and she played every single minute in the first half. Williams with those 5 blocks. Fear the pants. Will it come true in the second half? That is straight ahead. We'll have a little bit more from Greensboro after this. Fans enjoy Fan Fest just across the way from the Greensboro.
Duke lead as Wake Forest tries to get some energy going. Before we get this second half going, let's go over to Chelsea.
I just talked to Coach Hoover coming out of the locker room, and she said at halftime she talked to her team about adjustments they're going to need to make against the zone. She said we need to attack the gaps more. She said they thought that they were playing around the zone too much instead of in and through it. But she said to her team, we're going to need to play fearless and relentless in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't get anything inside the zone because of the interior defense. I think she's absolutely right. And they need their perimeter players to step up and stretch that zone with the 3-point shot.
Well, they get a stop on Duke's first possession. Hamby the rebound. That's her 9th. They hit no threes in the first half. 0 for 6.
And they hit 13 in the 2 games in the ACC tournament so far. Good ball movement early, good spacing.
5 to shoot it. Calicott. When she starts strong, watch out. That is her first bucket of the game. She has been a factor in Wake's 2 wins.
And that was perfect offense for Wake Forest. Floor spacing, they reversed the ball, got it inside, back out. Great.
Stevens doesn't get the roll. Williams, though, the rebound. What a battle that has been, Williams and Hamby. Duke's had a tough time finding the range here in the first minute and a half of the second half. Taylor, who has sometimes turnover prone, and Greenwell the other way.
In that first half, Duke was active on the glass, but Wake Forest had 17 offensive rebounds. They've got to capitalize on those, and then they've got to make free throws, the easy opportunity.
Hamby inside. Duke has started the half 0 for 5, and Wake has been able to take advantage. A 15-point halftime lead is now 10. Greenwell's open.
3-point basket, Rebecca Greenwell.
Looked like there was a miscommunication in what defense Wake Forest was in, but you can't give Rebecca Greenwell that look for 3 because she'll make you pay for it.
She's the leading scorer in the game with 14 points.
Very good start on the offensive end for Wake Forest in this game. You see the balance. They work the ball around here. Calicott hits the 3, and then they go on the interior now because the defense is thinking a little bit about the floor spacers. Erica Hamby works the angle off the glass.
You see Kalia Johnson going to the bench. She just picked up her 3rd foul. Mercedes Riggs into the Duke lineup.
I don't know that Wake Forest made Duke pay for that foul trouble in the first half.
Boy, so tough for Hamby. This is a great battle. Derica Hamby and Elizabeth Williams.
Neither player giving the other an inch on offense or defense. Good job by Elizabeth Williams tying up the basketball low.
Campbell. Wake has started the second half hot. That is Amber Campbell's first field goal. She had a career-high 21 yesterday against Syracuse.
That's how you beat the zone. They shot the 3-point shot at 43% in this tournament.
Williams down to Henson. Amber Henson battled injuries throughout her career, and as we told you in the first half, announced today she is going to come back as a graduate student and play next year.
A lot of dribbling for Wake Forest on this set.
Oh, what a start to the half for Wake Forest.
And that's where Hamby's game has grown. She understands the importance of being able to step outside and shoot the high post shot. She's not always going to get the look she wants down low.
Greenwell inside.
She understands the game so well, Mike. Her IQ, she cuts to the basket, knows where the openings are. She's going to be fun to watch for the next 3 years.
No doubt. Wake has hit 4 of the 5 shots they've taken here in the second half. Here's Taylor. Calicott, deep three, it's going to be short. But the rebound by Ball, and she draws the foul on Henson. That'll be the third on Amber Henson. Wake Forest came to play here in the second half. Rebecca Greenwell, though, doing the job for Duke, and they're up 12.
Brought to you by the official corporate champions of the ACC, Toyota, Haviland, and by Food Lion.
Wake Forest made some great adjustments at halftime, and they've come out of the second half 4 of 6. They've also hit their first 3s of the game and have the rebound advantage. Dearica Hamby is a rebound away from another double-double, despite her struggles.
Well, one thing I think Wake Forest has done in the second half is look to be more aggressive from the three-point line. They only took 6 attempts from long range the entire first half. They've already taken 3 in the second half. They're trying to beat that zone.
Ball missed them both. She's just a 40% shooter from the free throw line.
And Wake Forest has left opportunities there. They are 8 for 16.
That's a lot of free points given away. Williams fouled by Ball. It's her second, and Elizabeth Williams will go to the line.
I think Candace Ball is going to be the ice bath as many charges she has attempted to take in this game. She's hit the ground quite a bit.
Check that. That's her 3rd foul.
Drive here by Elizabeth Williams. She's finding some space to operate off the drive from the high post. See the disappointment there by Candace.
Williams missed both free throws.
Wake Forest screening the top of that zone.
Taylor with it. She had a great game against Duke regular season. 11 points, 8 assists. Hamby, give her an assist there.
Hamby took it right at the shot blocker. You got to take it at the body of a shot blocker if you want to score over him, and that's what she did in that possession.
Briggs, kick out to Greenwell. You give her that opening, and it's pretty tough. Williams
has not let a player between her and the basket keep her off the glass. But take a look at Dearica Hamby. She and Elizabeth Williams fighting for position. Hamby never stops working and catches it right here off of the drive as the defense collapsed, but she went into the shot blocker. Went right over with a little hook shot, and because of her position, it was easy.
By the way, that's the 4th foul on Ball. She's had to go to the Deacon bench. Nicole Floyd, freshman, is in the game. Hamby with it. She's a really good ball handler for her size. Elizabeth Williams now with 14 rebounds in the game. Campbell hits another one. Both of her 3s have come here in the second half. Don't look now, but this game's in single digits. The Duke lead was 15 at halftime. Another rebound by Hamby. She's got a double-double. Duke has played great defense today.
They have. If you're not faking a pass, you won't be able to make it. So they're all over the floor. That corner three-point shot has been good to Amber Campbell.
Floyd and LaChina Wake Forest is right back in this basketball game.
You have two offensive threats on that right side. De'Erica Hamby in the low block, and then Amber Campbell, who's knocked down a couple threes. So what does that do? It opens up the high post. Take a look at this offense. The three-point shot there, and then the last bucket from the high post, Nicole Floyd, and the deep.
38, Wake Forest coming back.
Well, because they've hit some shots against this zone from the corner, the three has been going in for Amber Campbell, and then you have De'Erica Hamby there. So as the defense starts to shift, you have to cover those two areas. Well, what's open then? The high post shot right there at the top of the key. Nicole Floyd fills in that open space and knocks it down.
Oh, you wondered if Wake Forest had anything left in the tank. What would happen in the second half? They got a lot of fight left. Look at those numbers in the second half. 7-0 run, 7 for 9 from the field. And Duke started the half cold, just 3 for 12. Rebecca Greenwell single-handedly has kept them going.
And I can't say enough about the adjustments by Jen Hoover in this tournament.
Stevens.
That's nothing for her. Good catch, keeps it high. Good floor spacing.
Taylor. Campbell, she's been hot from right there. Not that time. Johnson back in the game with the ball and 3 fouls. Eight to shoot it for Duke. And Greenwell will. It is strong, but there's going to be a foul underneath on Wake Forest. I believe it's on Tasia Taylor. Second foul on Taylor. Stevens. It'll belong to Wake Forest.
Wake Forest fortunate that didn't go in because they were slow to react defensively. Duke allowed to just catch it and move the ball wherever they want on that possession. Duke with some backcourt pressure here.
Campbell open for a moment. Delilah Atkinson, who was so good in the first half, in. Hamby. De'Erica Hamby, the senior, already a double-double today, 14 points and 12 rebounds.
On the move. She has scored more baskets today on the move. That's the open for her against the zone.
Williams inside. Stevens. Look at the defense by Wake Forest. Up with the loose ball. And a chance to make this a one-possession game. Floyd. It's a three-point game now. Wake has battled back. Williams on the other end.
That high post catch has been there. Wake's got to pinch in and force Elizabeth Williams to give the ball up.
Floyd, top of the circle. Campbell. Boy, it is just tough going in the paint for Wake. Nice effort by Duke. Inside, nice ball movement, and the senior who will return as a graduate student, Amber Henson, with the bucket.
Very smart in how they attack the defense. They keep moving, they know the cuts. Wake Forest is not on the same page on some possessions.
And Hamby called for traveling. But they're making a great comeback. The largest lead has been 18. Wake has sliced it down now to 7. We got it for De'Erica Hamby, and it's getting noticed by a lot of people.
It is. It's You compete in the ACC on the court, but off the court, acknowledging some love. Skylar Diggins tweeted, of course, of Notre Dame. Dearica Hamby, Wake Forest can flat out play. She can score, single, double, triple coverage, all of that covered, Mike. But just a shout out, some love from Skylar. Her Notre Dame Irish we will see today. She has gone on to the WNBA, and I believe that we will see Dearica Hamby the same place. Look at the adjustment for her the second half. She could have given up. I mean, 2 for 16 is miserable, but she's made some adjustments in how she's attacking Duke's defense, and she's 4 or 5 from the field.
Wake's run made this a 3-point game at 45-42. You wonder how much more energy that took out of this already tired team. That's a 3-second call on Duke. That's their 14th turnover, and it doesn't make Coach P happy. Winner plays the winner of our next game, Notre Dame, Miami. Floyd, the freshman, had it knocked away.
That was the length of Amber Henson at the high post.
Good ball movement amongst all those post players, and Stevens draws the foul. It's on Floyd. Azurá Stevens, who's had a great freshman year, will go to the line. She's from Raleigh, North Carolina, and Carey High School. My trivia question today, what other ACC women's basketball player went to Carey High School besides Azurá Stevens?
That would be one Debbie shoot till your arm falls off Antonelli.
You are right on it.
I think that Azurá may have taken a couple of Debbie's records, but not sure.
We'll have to check on it.
Definitely wasn't on the defensive end, I know that. She probably still holds those.
I think Debbie's in the Carey High School Hall of Fame, which Azurá Stevens will be there one day too, I'm sure. Double-double for Stevens now, her 9th of the season. She's got 11 points, 10 rebounds.
Wake Forest has to get a good possession here. They've got to get to that deep corner against the zone and get reversal.
Taylor to the corner, Campbell. That would have been big. Deeks needed that. Duke now can put the lead back up into double digits. Still belong to the Blue Devils. You know, give Duke credit. They knew a run was coming or felt a run coming. They got there to 45-42, and then Duke kept their poise and have now made it 51-42.
They have. You look out on the floor for Duke as Greenwell gets fouled going to the basket. They've got senior leadership, upperclassmen that have been around. Wake Forest a rather young team with more freshmen and sophomores on their roster.
Cole Floyd, that freshman from Manassas, Virginia, now has 3 fouls.
And I think Candace Ball having to go to the bench hurt that little run by Wake Forest. Because she was on the front end of that, but then had to go to the bench, and then you put in Floyd, who's a freshman. Not the same effect.
Greenwell, 1 of 2. Greenwell had 19 Sunday against North Carolina. She's got 17 here. Wake trying to stop a 7-0 Duke run. They can't get a bucket. Good defense forcing the turnover. Another blocked shot by the Blue Devils.
And Atasia Taylor's getting into the paint. She just can't see where to pass it from there.
Atasia Taylor's 5'9". Everybody she's looking at 6'5".
No doubt.
I could tell Atasia, I know the feeling. Working with LaChina and Chelsea. Out running Atkinson. Haven't heard a lot from Atkinson in this second half, and there's an offensive foul.
The foul will be charged to Wake Forest. At number 24, Kalila Atkinson.
on Atkinson.
And she's using that right arm right there to displace the defender. That is always going to be a foul.
Taylor's out. Nakia Jones, the sophomore from Raleigh, is in for Wake Forest. Quinn whistled for a foul or second. And Duke is now in the bonus.
Team foul number 7. Cooper has checked in. Duke is now in the bonus.
Elizabeth Williams will go to the line 1-1. Fouls already, Duke with 2. Williams now 8 points.
It was Duke that had the major foul trouble in the first half of the game. Joanne P. saying at halftime she thought that threw their rotation off some. Only 2 in the second.
Wake hadn't scored in 3.5 minutes, and a 3-point lead has now blossomed to 12 as a result. Calicott.
She continues to be a spark, Mike.
Well, Calicott knows Wake doesn't win today. That's her Wake career comes to an end. KK Atkinson just lost the ball out of bounds. Wake is still fighting. Its Intents have had a lot of success in this Atlantic Coast Conference tournament. They lead Wake Forest by 10 here. Overall, the Blue Devils have won 8 titles in the last 15 years. They've been in the championship game 13 times. Now, the early part of this century, they were great. 36-8 here. And of course, the tournament's been here for 16 years. And from 2000 to 2004, they had 4 tournament titles, 17 straight wins.
Very impressive what you can do in March. And this tournament is not easy to win, no matter what format, what day you play, how many teams involved, because everyone is hungry for the crown.
Now, we showed those 4 straight years of winning the tournament. One of those, they almost went out in the first round of Wake Forest.
Yeah, Demon Deacons put on a fight.
You were on that team, weren't you?
I was.
Wake was given no chance and had a double-digit lead in the second half in that game. But Duke has won 42 straight times over Wake Forest. The last win was in 1993 in the ACC tournament.
Genevieve really trying to build this program up. He's done a great job in recruiting, getting players like KK Atkinson, who's on the free throw line. And they really just couldn't find the consistency this season. Everyone's wondering, why are they playing so well now? Well, you know as well as I do, Mike. You hit a couple shots like Melissa Calicott has, it changes the complexion of things. And this is a young team that's taken some bumps along the way.
They're certainly going to miss Calicott and Hamby. There are a lot of great players left as Williams scores again. She's now in double figures.
She really just let the game come to her. 2 very different styles of play in the center position. Elizabeth Williams more lets her offense come to her. De'Erica Hamby goes and gets her offense.
Atkinson Williams, wow, what a rebound. Really got up for that one.
She went and got that rebound, didn't she, Mike?
She did. You know, we'll see both Williams, I think, and Hamby in the WNBA and the next level. Interesting, Elizabeth Williams, who receives, we told you, the Scholar Athlete Award for women's hoops. As Cooper gets the rebound and puts it back. She eventually wants to go on to medical school and become a doctor.
When I think about the impact she can have in the WNBA, I think about Brittany Griner, the kind of shot blocking she had. And she's a very strong defensive presence. She goes and gets her defense, I'll tell you that.
Atkinson is fouled. She received this award I was talking about before the game. It's the Kay Yow Award, the Scholar Athlete for Women's Basketball Player, and it was given to Elizabeth Williams, who is just as good in the classroom as she is on the court.
I think the first time I met her, she was probably 14, 15 years old, and I felt like I was talking to an adult. She's just so mature, very intelligent. And again, she's dealt with some injuries. I don't think we've seen the upside of Elizabeth Williams, not even close to what we may see in the WNBA.
Atkinson, a couple of free throws. She's in double figures now off the bench for Wake Forest.
This is Amber Henson in the backcourt at 6'4", handling the press. Look at this.
Cooper inside. You talk about Henson, there were many people saying coming out of high school that Henson was actually a better player than Elizabeth Williams.
Oh man, she was special. I watched her play at a Nike camp, and her ability to handle the ball, to shoot from the outside, and she and Elizabeth were both on my team in that camp, and I thought she was going to really be the star.
Good feed, Atkinson to Hamby. Wake will take a timeout.
A 30-second timeout.
Well, Wake's cut it back down to 12.
Right here, Duke is beating the press with really all players that are 6'4" or taller. Look at the handles and the versatility. Majerey to Amber Henson to Cooper inside. Wake Forest has got to bring some pressure if they're trying to create turnovers.
Cooper with her season high today at 15, and she saved her offensive output for the right time of year. Got 3 more games today, and I think we've got a good one coming up next. Miami and Notre Dame. Miami is the only team to have beaten Notre Dame since they joined the ACC, and that's in league play. They beat them earlier this year.
Not a lot of teams at all can brag that they have beat the Notre Dame Irish, but Miami did do that. You know one key, Mike, is always going to be slowing down that Notre Dame offense that is always so good.
Well, Wake Forest came out with pressure. Duke had some issues trying to get the ball up court. Greenwell, another guard, is coming into the game. They just don't have a lot of guards. More about that Notre Dame game. Night she had for Miami. Career high 32 points.
She was so special. Everyone took note of that name, Adrian Money Mott, after that game. And Notre Dame had a lot of streaks on the line in that contest. Miami, as Katie Meyer often does, they brought the energy on the defensive end and got a huge win early in the season.
That's coming up at 2 o'clock, and you'll see it right here. Offensive foul on Henson. That'll be her 4th foul.
Still a lot of time in this game. Wake Forest can capitalize, score some points against the Duke defense. Right now, only 50 points. Wake Forest has averaged 77 points in this tournament. Duke's
Unbelievable.
Duke's done a good job on defense.
That's 10 points higher than what they averaged during the regular season. Approaching 5 minutes to play. Trying to attack that defense, Jen Hoover, who has made some great adjustments today. Getting ready to put Calicott, 3-point shooter, into the game. The other surprise team is Virginia Tech. I don't know if you saw that game against Pitt last night, but talk about willing your way to win. Vanessa Panousis and company looking pretty good, but that's a great Florida State team.
You look at Vanessa Panousis, and you may say she looks like the girl next door, but she is a weapon. Sees the floor well. That was the big buzzer beater win in the first game by Hannah Young. And then, as you mentioned, against Pitt, just clicking on all cylinders. It's like a team that's hungry. They don't want their season to end. We've mentioned that, Mike, that some of these teams, they know that if they lose, that's it. Virginia Tech being one of them, and they're not ready to go home.
Not at all. Looking forward to that game. Florida State, though, is a really, really good team.
Very good. I think they've got Final Four potential.
Atkinson can't hit it. Hamby fouled on the way up.
Rebound has been charged to the Blue Devils at number 21, Kendall Cooper. For third, team 6.
Erica Hamby does not take a play off. She is not going to quit in this last 4:54. You won't see any quit in this young woman.
Tell you what, Leah Johnson was really inspiring her team, and in no uncertain terms saying they got to play tougher out there on the court. She let a couple of those teammates have it.
All she had to do is the point guard or the lead guard.
Here is Johnson into the forecourt. Knocked out of her hands. It'll still belong to Duke. Yeah, Johnson, Coach P said she's a 3 guard trying to play the point. Now we're going to have a discussion at the scorers table, and the officials has gone over there. Well, they put 1 more second on the clock. Inside Cooper. The career day continues for Kendall. 17 now.
2 feet of the paint. Duke has been very efficient.
Timeout, Duke.
Duke's got the ball in a timeout, and Wake has turned it over when they can least afford to. 4:37 left.
Jen Hoover is in this huddle telling her team, listen, you've got plenty of time. Get your energy together. Trying to rally them. She's got on the pants too, Mike.
Yeah, but 13 is a tall task with 4:37 left. Yeah, she wore those pants, and they beat Miami in the regular season by a point. Didn't wear them the next game, they lost. Wore them in the ACC tournament against BC. They beat the Eagles, and it was on.
3-0 in those pants.
Bring the pants. And they have been real gamers today, these Wake Forest Deacons, having played 2 tough games in this Duke's first in the tournament. Blue Devils with 4 players in double figures today. One of them right there, Azurá Stevens.
That's a prime example of what can happen when Azurá Stevens at 6'5" is a perimeter player. And she can post up against guards.
Stevens is a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Now 12 points to go along with her 10 rebounds. Big free throws for Duke. The lead is back up to 15. This is what it was at halftime. Wake got as close as 3 at 45-42. Swatted away by Williams, another block shot. And it's Williams running the floor on the other end. She'll go to the line.
How are you the first player back down the court after you make the defensive play? Look at Elizabeth Williams. She is putting the Jets on in the open floor. And Duke has a nice lead, but she is not playing like it. This is a desperation run, and that's a great call by the officials on the block because Atasia Taylor.
Now, hold on here. Hold on. They just changed that foul.
Wow.
They had just changed that foul to An offensive foul by Williams. It's her second. Was she in the restricted area there? Let's see.
I believe that the defender's foot, look at that, inside the restricted area. That should have been a blocking foul.
Well, can Duke hold on here? Up 15. Time winding down. 3:55. The Blue Devils trying to advance to the semifinals tomorrow. ACC, as we often get interpretations from the officials about the call so that we can get it right. And you got one about what that previous call was.
Yeah, because Elizabeth Williams caught the ball inside the lower defensive box, that eliminates the restricted area. So that's why that call was changed. When she catches it here, she's inside what they call the LDB, the lower defensive box. If the offensive player catches the ball inside that area, it negates the restricted area underneath the basket. So you can take a charge in that space.
Let's go over to Chelsea.
In that last huddle, Coach Hoover was trying to fire her team up for the final segment of this game. She was drawing up a play on her board offensively to have a cutter run baseline to maybe look for the outside shot, but she was pounding on that board and said, guys, this is it. We got to do it right here.
Yeah, you're right. Approaching 3.5 to go. 6 to shoot for Duke. Johnson will take it and make it. She hadn't scored a lot today, just 4 points, but that was a big bucket.
It was. You mentioned her challenging her teammates just a few possessions ago, but she brought the energy to them.
Boy, and this lead now is up to 17. It's going to be tough for Wake here. Hamby kind of had to shovel it up. There's been great defense on her all day. Give Dearica Hamby credit for the double-double because she's had to work hard for every point she's had today.
She really has, and the reason why Wake was able to make that push in the second half, they had more assists. They were sharing the ball. They only had 3 assists in the first half. Now that number is up to 13. So that helped Dearica Hamby as both her and her teammates were hitting shots that opened things up.
Melissa Calicott will be headed to the line. Dearica Hamby may be playing her last game in a Wake Forest uniform. Same for that lady, Melissa Calicott. Calicott's a great free throw shooter at 81% on the year. Atkinson is back in. Still some discussion going on here, and I think it's about the substitution. No time had gone off the clock. Bottom line, Calicott made both free throws. I think the guards that they have had, Riggs, Greenwell, and Johnson, done a decent job today for Duke.
Yeah, they have.
Again, this is a team that's depleted of guards. Help coming in next year. Foul on Floyd. That's her 4th. 2 o'clock today. Notre Dame and Miami. Hurricanes in the house. The U is here. Muffet McGraw, the head coach of Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish in the Greensboro Coliseum as well. Miami, again, the only team to have beaten Notre Dame. I don't think the Irish coach even had to say anything about that. Those players knew it.
You better believe they're already motivated for that.
Good day for Stevens. 14 points and 10 boards. 70-53. This was the final score the last time these two teams played. Duke won 70-63 the first time. Then in Winston-Salem, it was 70-53. Calicut. Hamby, you may have heard the Blue Devil players saying no foul. (19 for Hamby.
Of course, they're on their third game, and looks like they are out of legs, out of fight. And credit to Duke, they have made this a very tough game.
I don't think they ever got out of fight, but the legs just are not there today. If you saw those two games that we did, Boston College and Syracuse, you know how hard this Demon Deacon team played, and they came out and played hard today, but just not enough. Duke will play the winner of Notre Dame and Miami. That'll be noon here tomorrow in the Greensboro Coliseum. And then tonight, of course, we've got Florida State, Virginia Tech, Louisville, and North Carolina.
A lot of fun action. Some teams are just making their debut. We've been here 3 days already.
I know it.
Notre Dame, Louisville, they've been hanging out.
How much fun has it been to watch Dearica Hamby these last 2 years?
Oh, man. She came out of nowhere, really. Kid that didn't start playing basketball until late. She actually loved softball early as a youngster.
Well, I was talking to Chelsea Shine Wilson, who had to guard her when she was playing for Virginia her first 2 years, and said this is not the same Dearica Hamby that was as a freshman and sophomore.
She's transformed.
And guys, I will tell you from experience, I'm thankful I did not have to guard the Dearica Hamby that we're seeing today, because I'm not sure I would have done as good of a job of it as I may have done on her in the first or second year. But she is quite a player and certainly has improved her game over the 4 years that she's been at Wake Forest. And like I said, I'm just thankful that it was not me having to guard her in this game tonight.
And Chelsea and with China, both of you, as an and one there, a lot of that is a result of hard work in the offseason, the work when nobody else is looking, that makes you a better player, isn't it?
She's put on 40 pounds. She was a thin thing as a young girl, but had to come in, put on weight, get stronger. She came to Wake Forest because she wanted to change the expectation, and she has raised the bar there and left records there to prove it.
Out of Marietta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Look at this career. All-time leading scorer and rebounder. She broke her coach's records. Third in double-doubles, third in block shots.
She's on all kind of player of the year lists, and I think the thing she will be remembered for most is her relentlessness, her heart, the way she just goes after the game.
Cooper's got a career day today with 20 points. 19 double-doubles in a year. It's hard to fathom almost.
Yeah. Especially when teams are expecting you. And everyone else has kind of developed as time has gone on around her. But imagine being the focal point of the defense and still getting those numbers.
Well, we'll certainly miss seeing Dearica Hamby in this league. Just giving us a lot of great memories. Now for Duke. This is a team that fought off the Wake Forest run. I think Coach P's got to be happy with how they played. And tomorrow will either be Notre Dame or Miami they'll face in the semifinals.
Yeah, Joanne P has done a great job with this team. Again, I mean, when you talk about the number of players 6'4" and taller and how she's constructed their offense and defense to still have success. Impressive.
You know what happened today is, yeah, they got great plays from their bigs, but they also, from their one shooter, Greenwell, they got 17 points.
Yeah, in a variety of ways she did it. Cutting, she never stops working. Hit some outside shots, loosen things up.
You know, Greenwell is a difference maker. She draws everybody's attention because she really is, as you mentioned, they're only a 17% three-point shooting team over the last 4 games. But she is their outside shooter. This is a team that scores in the paint. And Duke, I think, today has done what they do. They play defense. They block shots. They score inside. And then if they have to get something outside, Greenwell's there to knock it in.
Yeah, first in the ACC in field goal percentage defense.
Did you see this catch?
You saved me. You saved my life.
I don't know if you saw that or not. Those are some good hands.
He protected me. I was so late on that. Thanks, Mike.
There's no problem. Just over a minute left. Atkinson is just fouled out.
The Wake Forest team that 9 of their 13 players are freshmen or sophomores, so they will be back, most of this roster.
All right, do we have a picture of this? No, we don't. Watch the catch, folks. Those are hands.
Where am I going? I was nowhere even close to, and so
Oh
late.
my goodness.
That was great. Thank you.
No problem.
I am a
High
partner.
five.
Yeah,
We're partners. That's why that happened.
Yeah, you need me to stay alive through the next game. Thank God we've got Chelsea on hand, because that could have been my life.
Oh, it was headed for you. Riggs at the line, and Mercedes Riggs' first point today. That was the expression on that bench a moment ago. I think about players thinking about tomorrow. They didn't come here to this tournament to play just one game. They want to be here all the way till Sunday.
That's what the tradition has been. Wake Forest has not stopped playing. They are pushing and fighting.
Taylor on the line.
I think the last thing that Duke would want to do right now with this double-digit lead and under a minute left is give Wake Forest free throws.
Yeah.
Deacons obviously bringing a lot of pressure here. And Campbell's going to pick up the foul.
The foul has been charged to Wake Forest, number 2, Edward Campbell, the first.
What do you think the key is in that Miami-Notre Dame game coming up?
Man, can you slow down Jewel Lloyd? Or
I agree with you. That's a big thing to do.
You've either got to slow her down or you've got to make her the only option and shut down everyone else. But their offense is.
And for Notre Dame, they've now got double trouble inside with Reimer and Butler both playing. Reimer did not play. And Deacons get an and one.
The foul has been charged. It's number 21, Kendall Cooper.
And Miami, of course, got a career game out of Motley. It's coming up shortly at 2 o'clock. Also, Notre Dame is a team that has great post play, great shooters, and a superstar. And then in Lindsey Allen, a very effective young point guard. They've got every element of a great team that you would want.
They do. And I think Miami, jump ball called here on the floor, they're going to have to try to challenge Notre Dame defensively. Can their quick guards, their backcourt, get into the seams of their defense? Can they beat you off the bounce enough to compromise Notre Dame? They got them into foul trouble down at Miami's place, and that helped the case.
Well, Wake Forest isn't giving up on this game at all. They've got it down to 10. Riggs is going to need to make some free throws.
Gene Hoover saying, I want to wear these pants one more day.
Riggs 1 for 3. Riggs came into the game and only taken 3 free throws all season. Has taken 4 in this game. And Wake loses it out of bounds.
Forrest looking for a steal here.
And they got it. Who else but Amber Campbell? That's what she does, and then Duke gives it right back. Foul's on Campbell. That might have been an intentional foul. It was called as an intentional foul, I believe.
Push in the back. Yeah. Flagrant. And Campbell. You're right, they did call that an intentional foul. I couldn't tell from the signal. Wake Forest trying to make something happen here in the waning moments.
Campbell does hit it at the buzzer. And a good effort by Wake Forest, but not enough. Duke will win it 77-68. The career comes to an end for the great De'Erica Hamby. Elizabeth Williams and her Blue Devils will continue on to the semifinals tomorrow. Don't forget at 2 o'clock, it's Notre Dame, it's Miami. We'll see you then. For now, for LaChina Robinson and our crew, Mike Hogwood here, saying see you at 2 for more of the ACC Women's Tournament.